Oh, you got to turn that show off.
The press and the Down Beach Current were notified of this meeting, and a copy of same was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and on the municipal website. Meeting will come to order, please. Will you stand for the flag salute? Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Ms. Tawby? Here. Mr. Blumberg?
Here.
We have before us the minutes of our meetings for December 19th. What is your pleasure?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Tawby?
Yes.
Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
We're now open for public comment. You have 3 minutes. Talk about whatever you like.
To 22 West Drive, on the same topic that's been hammered at time and time and time again, is the refusal of this commission to uphold the state statute mandating a canine census. As I pointed out to our city administrator, there's a revenue stream of upwards to $100,000 a year being lost. And in these tight economic times, whether it be Detroit, Michigan, or Chicago, Illinois, or Oakland, California, you cannot sneer at this type of revenue, Mayor. And in fact, if you were to add cats to the census, you could possibly be looking at upwards to $250,000 per annum. That would help to pay for the city administrator's salary and even the city solicitor's salary. So I strongly urge you to do what the state statute mandates. I don't know why this commission insists on sitting on its hands when there is such a hefty revenue stream out there. And furthermore, Mayor, you may peruse the article which I submitted to you today concerning the Camden police officer, must be a county guy now, that had a pit bull sicked on him. And I don't think taxpayers should have to pay for that injured on duty status when you, Mayor, and you, Commissioner Tawby, could easily pass a $5 cloth jaw strap ordinance which would eliminate that entirely. Plus, for those people who want to be scofflaws, you could realize $30,000 or $40,000 per annum for people who didn't want to abide by the cloth jaw strap ordinance. So, Mayor, let's think of ways of raising revenue without increasing property taxes. And I think this is a noble undertaking. And furthermore, last thing, Mayor, I think we should eliminate the 72-hour grace period. And people should be able to go online and order a dog tag. Just like you have a beach tag, you want to go on the beach, you pay for a Margate beach tag, even though you might have one for Ocean City, you still pay again. And the same thing for people who want to take their dogs out on our public streets and use the taxpayer's lawn as an open latrine. I think they should pay for that privilege or abuse thereof. So let's eliminate that 72-hour rule and have everybody, if they want to keep their dog in their home or their condo or their apartment, that's fine. Or in their backyard, even better, where they can take a dump rather than on their neighbor's lawn. I think that's a far better way to go, Mayor. Let's explore these avenues of enhanced revenue. I think it's painless, it's easy to do, plus, it enhances the public safety, health, and well-being, which Mr. Martin likes to remind us about. But this is real safety. Because somewhere, Mayor, there's going to be a child mauled by a pit bull, and I'll have to come back here and raise my voice. I don't want to have to do that, Mayor.
Anyone else?
Sharon Simon, 424 North Thurlow Avenue. Please don't make John have to raise his voice. I'm glad, Commissioner Tobey, you don't want to do anything that's illegal. An Oprah request was made for some documents, and Commissioner Tobey's response was she deleted them from her inbox because there was not, she couldn't hold them or something ridiculous, which isn't even accurate. The reality is that is a violation of Oprah. And it's not it's a violation you've been told about before, and I have had to have a suit against the city as a result of not getting documents that I Oprah'd that are open to the public, and it costs the citizens money to get that. You have the legal obligation to supply whatever documents you have or had on your computer, and just because you don't want people to see them, you don't have the right to delete them. It's my comment time, so don't push that button, please, okay? They can be taken from your computer, and I believe that from the solicitor, from the citizens of Margate, that you have a legal obligation to produce those documents. And if me asking you to do it isn't enough, then I will have an attorney involved, and you are all familiar with the attorney. So the documents need to be produced. And could you please stop deleting them? If you can't figure out how to use your inbox, I'm sure there's a specialist here that could help you. I could help you. My 12-year-old could have helped you when he was 12. Thank you. As far as the Dune battle, okay, Father Steve over here invoked the name of the Lord. I'm going to invoke the name of democracy and your responsibility as a commission to fight for what you think is best for Margate. So to not fight this battle because we're going to lose it, which no one knows if we're going to lose it, we think they have a good chance of winning it, or to not fight it because it's going to cost us money, which in the long run, the dunes will probably cost us more money, but most importantly, or just as importantly, is it's not the right choice for our community. Mr. Abbott has expressed that. The mayor has expressed that. Commissioner Blumberg has expressed that. Anybody who's actually done their work and not politically motivated in this and has looked at the facts, including the DEP and the Army Corps, who have said in this meeting and in their literature that bulkheads are effective and maybe more effective. They have said that they analyzed in dunes are more cost-effective over 50 years. But they didn't study the cost-effectiveness of bulkheads over 50 years. So I'm saying the same thing to you. You have a right to protect democracy, our vote, and what's best for Margate. And you spend a lot of money on a lot of legal fees for a lot of things that could have been avoided. Whistleblower suits, Oprah requests, and it goes on. So why don't you fight the fight because it's the right thing to do, and it's the most cost-effective thing for us to do, and it's in the name of democracy, and not because we're going to lose. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I respond to her real quick?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second, Steve. Mrs. Talby would like to respond.
Sharon Simon brought up the Oprah request before. I have had problems with my email, which Fred is aware of, and I think others in the city have had problems with their email. I was able to retrieve most of my emails, and they were sent to Vaughn Real, and Rosie has a copy of the emails and my email that I sent to her, so if you'd like to have that, you can. In addition to that, every email that I sent out, I copy Rich Dini. So there's no secrets here whatsoever. In fact, I want everybody to know what correspondence I've had with the Army Corps, with the DEP. I want you all to know what I know. And there's no secrecy, I promise you, whatsoever at all. I turned over everything that I have. And I even said, if necessary, if you want to, go on the server and pull up whatever, or look at whatever, you're more than welcome to. Again, there's nothing to hide.
Thank you. Steve?
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. Lord, give me the power to accept what I can't do anything about. I just thought I'd say that again to start off the new year right. Also, just wondering, I asked the last time I was here, Rich, about the beach badge advertisements, not the beach badge, the advertisements on the beach tents and whatnot, the discrepancy in the money. And has any resolution been come up with that? I mean, as far as why the money wasn't paid, and is it going to be paid? And what about going forward? Are these people going to be allowed to advertise again? Or in any case, did we get any further on that? It's about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Go ahead. You care to, Rich?
Steve, I don't think anything material has happened since December 15th. It hasn't. But the contracts or my understanding of the award, which was 3 years ago, the best of my recollection is that the time period for what that award is up in February. So unless and until this body goes out to bid again, there won't be any advertising after February.
So, I mean, so it's going to be resolved that there won't be any advertising? Is that
I
the...
said unless and until this body takes action between now and February,
There won't be any
there won't be
advertising?
any advertising unless they have a period where there's no advertising, and then they decide next year to do it again. But this particular award was for 3 years, and it
Yeah, I
stops in
read the
February.
ordinance.
Well, then you know
Right.
the answer then.
Well, I knew that, but I just wondered, I mean, I also got, from the Oprahs, I got that there was a substantial amount of money that wasn't paid.
That's correct, and it was disclosed. There is money that was not paid. And whether
Right.
the people are going to pay or not, I can't tell you that. There has been letters out in as late as November or December asking for payment. But I'm not going to get into that at this point. There will
I
be a
know, I
final-
just, that the business, what do you call it, the Burgermeister or whatever was in favor of having advertising because a lot of businesses, there was not that many opportunities for local businesses to advertise, and I thought that, I mean, I don't love the advertising, but I sympathize with businesses, being a business person myself. So I just was, wondering the status of it. It seems a shame that people don't pay their bills, I mean, or whatever. I think that if people want to pay, they should be allowed to pay. But it wasn't, the ordinance wasn't enforced properly, to my understanding, because that money was supposed to all be gotten by like April 1st of 2011, and it wasn't. There was only one person that paid. So that's all. Okay.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else?
Steve Giesecke, 112 North Lancaster Avenue. I like to ride my bike around the city and town, and I'm concerned about the amount of construction that goes on, especially all the condos that have been going up on, like, say, on Jefferson, Adams, Monroe Avenue, because as these townhouses fill up more people, there's less and less off-street parking, and the city doesn't have any kind of parking lots to go to. And I foresee a real problem coming because we have a problem on our street when the summertime people come, when you convert the three-bedroom houses into the five-bedroom houses, because these people come with an influx of cars, and they're big cars too. I mean, they're not little Toyotas, they're big SUVs. And that's just something that I think that we really need to address with the master plan, is the amount of housing and people that's coming in. And I also made a little suggestion, if we could put maybe trash cans at the stairs on the beach, because when I walk the beach, I notice that people walk their dogs on the beach, and the ones that are good enough to pick up after their dog and leave them on plastic bags, they leave them at the stairs because there's no place to throw them away. And also, I pick up some of the litter that's on the beach, and I would like to put it in the proper receptacle to have that taken care of.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else? Motion to close this portion of public comment?
I make a motion that we close public comment.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, could I just make one comment on the comments?
You certainly may.
I like to wait till after the comments. Just so the public knows, I agree that we should do a dog census periodically, so there's no question there. What I want to clear up is whether we could make it $1,000 or $100,000, it could not go into the general budget. It has to go into a dog fund. It has to be used for protection of animals. So it is not a revenue source to replace taxes, and I just want to make sure that people understand that.
You know, and I asked Rosie when Mr. Sewell was up here talking about that, how does it work when you're a seasonal community such as ours? I mean, if we were to do a dog census, I mean, is it just for the year-round, or is it for year-round and seasonal? I mean, it's for both? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Rich. Is there any public comment on resolutions on the agenda?
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, your undivided attention to Resolution OT6 and OT7. I do not quite understand anybody who would renew a contract lease for 25 years or extend tax abatement through the year 2049. 2049, everybody here will be pushing up daisies. And to burden future administration and future taxpayers with a tax abatement. Now, reading this agreement extension, the tax abatement agreement extension, it says, whereas it is the intention of the city to extend the tax abatement agreement through December 31st, 2049, or such longer term as may be required by the Housing Urban Development or other such federal agency subsidizing the project. I have nothing against subsidized housing. I have nothing against low-income housing. But I don't think that we should be subsidizing the federal government unless there is some type of statutory requirement requiring us to extend a tax rebate or a tax abatement as terms and condition of low-income housing. Mayor, can you enlighten me and perhaps the other folks in the peanut gallery out here precisely why we're giving a tax abatement through the year 2049 when you'll be about 135 or 40 years old?
I would be happy to enlighten him, Mayor. Your undivided attention, Mr. Sewell.
You have it, Solicitor.
Margate Terrace is a senior citizen low-income housing project.
I'm aware of that.
It helps Margate to satisfy its fair share housing quota. It doesn't satisfy it, but it's a big step towards satisfying. It helps us. The association has asked because they want to refinance their existing financial structure, they want to refinance it to make a lower payments and to, I believe, acquire additional capital for improvements to the structure. They've asked the City of Margate to extend its existing lease. Well, actually, they have the option to extend it, so they are exercising the option to do so. So they have the right to extend their lease. Now, the pilot program, the tax abatement, as a part of this overall arrangement, they're asking that we continue that which is already in place, being a tax abatement program to assist the senior citizens who live in this facility, which helps the city of Margate to satisfy its fair share housing requirement.
But it doesn't address the question that I put forth, and that is there a specific, express, written, statutory requirement that we afford a tax abatement? That's the whole question.
In an indirect way, there most certainly is, because we as a community have an obligation to provide some fair share of its low-income housing. And this helps the city of Margate to do so.
But once again, is it statutorily obligated?
I would say yes, it is statutorily obligated because the state has the authority to come in and control some development in our city with regard to the provision of low-income housing, of which Margate Terrace does.
But essentially, we've been waiving the real estate property taxes on the Margate Terrace
There is a
for the federal government.
in lieu of taxes. The payment of lieu in taxes actually benefits the city of Margate, doesn't pay the county, or it doesn't pay the school, but it does go to the city of Margate.
All right,
But it's not a large amount of money, truly, because it
but better
does,
than nothing.
but it's better than nothing.
Thank you very much.
It helps.
School children either, John.
They don't? That's right.
School children,
I think,
that's a story for another day. We don't have enough minutes to discuss that.
right.
Anyone else?
Scott, regarding Mr. Sewell's question, is that on, is the terrace, it's not on Green Acres property, right?
Terraces.
Is the terrace on Green Acres property? I do not believe it is. It is immediately adjacent to Green Acres property. But the building itself, I don't think is, no. Fred, do you know? He is indicating no, so, no.
Okay.
No, I only asked
But
because
right next to it is.
They have an issue with the term of the leases, which you know, so, but that's good.
Nothing.
Okay.
Anyone else? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Mrs. Freed?
All right, the first resolution is approving the 2014 temporary budget.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 2 is to authorize payment of claims and payroll.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 3 is authorizing transfers in the 2013 budget.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Mr. Becker, sorry.
Yes.
And Ms. Taube?
Yes.
Number 4 is amending the city's cafeteria plan document regarding the FSA.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 5 is approving plans and specs for the 2014 project to redevelop the well number 10.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 6 is authorizing the renewal of the lease with Margate Terrace for a term of 25 years.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 7 is authorizing and extending the tax abatement agreement with Margate Terrace through 2049.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes, happily so. I'll be 89 years old in 2049, and hopefully watering daisies, not pushing them up.
I know, I was glad you said it, because I'll be 100. I hope I'm still here, too. Thank you.
I hope you both
We're
are.
going to put a plaque outside a one-bedroom with your name on it.
Mr. Sewell, if you tell me where you'll be, I'll send you a birthday wish.
I'm going to add some resolutions here according
Go ahead,
to
Ruth.
our work session. So number 8 will be awarding a contract for the municipal prosecutor to Joe Syed.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 9 is awarding a contract for a conflict prosecutor who is Carl Trippischen.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg.
Yes.
Number 10 is awarding the contract for the public defender, Jim Swift.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg.
Yes.
Number 11 is awarding the contract to Darren Lord to serve as public defender, conflict public defender.
Make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg.
Yes.
And the last one, number 12, is appointing Tara Mazza as registrar.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
And Mr. Blumberg.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's all
Thank
I
you,
have.
Rosie. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Before you make that motion, I'd like to say something. As president of the Margate Terrace, I'd like to thank Scott for all his hard work. It wasn't an easy task. He did have to get a lot of information together, which I was able to be a conduit for. I'd like to thank the commissioners and Rich for allowing us the advantage of extending these leases and tax abatements. For those of you that don't know, Margate Terrace has 75 apartments, low-income seniors housing. If you've never been there, just give me a call. I'll give you a nice tour. It happens to be one of the finest senior housing places in the state of New Jersey. And with these leases and tax abatements, we're going to refinance our mortgage, and that's going to allow us to put another $500,000 into the building for renovations. So not only is it the nicest one now, but it will be for the next 50 years probably. So again, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Terrace. I know when I have my meeting with the residents there, they're going to be thrilled because this is a big step for us. So again, I'd like to thank you for allowing us the opportunity.
Thank you for the job you do there. Okay. Are we adjourned yet?
Not yet.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Ms. Taube?
Yes.
Mr. Blumberg.
Yes.
Thank you all for being here, and Happy New Year again.
Yes.